Hello everyone, welcome to Trident Tarot. I present you a very compact reading regarding the upcoming new year. This is a timeless reading and it is very well applicable for other years, future new years, if it happens to appear on your timeline during those occasions. So, without wasting any time, let us move to the pile selection. This reading has two piles which are shown in front of you. You may choose either one of them or both of them. The reading is compact, so if you are drawn to choose both of them, it would be worth the thought, worth taking into consideration. Pause the video at this moment and make your decision. If you find it difficult to do so, make two sheets of paper, write 1 and 2 on them respectively, and choose whichever comes to you by random shuffling. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. Your reading tells a story directly. There is a shut door. That door has very confidential piece of information which is not available for everyone. It is only available for certain selective individuals. And in order to hide that information or prevent curious people from trying to break that door and access that information, certain false stories are made up. That if you open that door, something is going to happen, something bad will come on you, some devil will come from inside, so on and so sort of these things. But the selective individuals who have access to it, they rise above these false stories because they have eligibility parameter to access the precious information that is present behind that door. So this year, you will be privileged in some way to get access or information to something which is not available to the commons. Whatever thing that is, people will generally speak, strange things about it. But to you specifically, that thing would feel very friendly and different. And you will go to pursue it without listening to others. So don't fall into the trap or fear of what other people are saying. Just do what you feel is correct. Because you are the chosen record keeper for something special that universe has to bestow on you. This gift or privilege is coming with a very long-term stability. The condition is only one, that you will not share that information with anyone. Privacy and tendency, the quality, not tendency, but the quality to keep things to yourself, not to overshare or not share at all. That is something that you need to follow from now onwards. And this includes our tendency or tempting habits to share things on social media. Now is the time to restrict and not share everything. Now is the time to simplify our lives and retain our privileges and gifts to ourselves, rather than making a noise about them and creating difficulties for oneself. Sharing is a virtue which differs from context to context. Your gut feeling tells you whether it is appropriate to share some information with someone or not. Making unnecessary noise and just speaking where things are not meant to go create difficulties and obstacles for you. And they are very unknown. They are very difficult to decipher. Sometimes they come out as unintentional actions by the people whom the information is being exposed to. Sharing is not bad, but sharing with the ineligible person is something incorrect. So sharing with few and aligned people in privacy, in confidentiality, this is particularly the condition that you will have to follow when this gift will be revealed to you. And the quickness, the speed with which it comes, depends on how much you transform yourself in this direction. How much you transform yourself also in direction of not letting false stories, made up stories of others to not influence you, to pursue what you want. Looking very carefully at the central card, which is the devil. It says, too much of knowledge is evil, too much of discussing and overdoing things, which involves other people, is also confusing and hazy. Once you understand this thing, you will surprisingly realize that your pursuits, which are very dear to you, they are very, very, very easy to follow. They're very, very, very easy to achieve. You will realize that they had been hyped. And when I say this, I can see 222 on my screen, which is a very clear message. Your present situation is, I think, which the cards are telling, you're too much caught up in what others have, what others' opinions are about like what gift or goal you're trying to accomplish. You have sought people for assistance, but things have messed up there. So the only solution right now is, which is of course difficult, it will take practice, is to pursue the way things you feel they should be pursued by listening to your inner voice. The more you do it, the quicker this haze will vanish, and the quickly you will reach your goals. The other challenge that you'll face is your internal rigidity that you have accumulated over time. Like you have made very firm belief systems that things can happen only this way. It's not about making yourself flexible here, but it's about like softening yourself that yes, things can happen in unconventional ways. For example, you need not have a degree course to be an artist. You need not have certifications to be an artist. You can be an artist by journaling or doing, doodling drawings every day with consistency regularly to generate your own form of art. You can do mini certification, just one, to be employable as an artist. To be an artist, the only important portfolio is your drawings, your drawing book where you have made your things, not degree or anything. There is always an unconventional way to pursue things, and if you have faith in it, if your portfolio is impactful, no one will stop you from taking in their employment. Trainings, etc. will be provided if required. You will realize things over time, what extra you need to do. So avoid the tendency to be fixated that a path can only be of a certain kind. Your perception about time is also being shown that must be changed. You are not in control of time, but time is in your control. Do not allow time to be a parameter so that it controls your efficiency. Task of any kind, I mean, whichever task you do, there are parts of it which takes a lot of time and which just take fraction of time. Things are fast and things are like long and sometimes paused, but all that is a part of the overall activity. So don't try to be rigid on yourself by fixating that so and so thing has to be done in this particular time interval. You cannot extend beyond that. Do not do that. You can accomplish everything within a decided time goal, and that comes through practice. Allow yourself to make mistakes and slip here and there, and don't allow any rigidities, whether external or internal, to harm you. So, understanding time and controlling it through practice, controlling time and yourself through practice, is another important thing that you'll be learning this year. Understand that time is not an isolated entity. Your time plus your task both are integrated activities. And that aspect of integration also takes into account the complexity, how complex the task is. It also takes into account the parameter of adaptability, that how you as an individual, physically through neurons, emotionally, mentally, how you are adapting to the activity, the task that you are doing. It includes the parameter of clarity. You need time to get clarity on some things. Let it take its own time. That is also a parameter of time. So you need to introspect on parameters of these kind and see that how you can intertwine them with time management, as to say. The more you focus on these, the more you identify the parameters, focus on them, the more you will be able to take a control over time. The only thing that you need to realize at this time is that time is not an independent entity. It is intertwined with whatever task you take up. And this will be one of the central and focal point of the year, the focal lesson of the coming year. Very briefly, I would like to narrate you a story on the battle between a bull and a tiger. There was supposed to be a battle between a bull and a tiger to prove that which one of them is the strongest, which one of them is stronger. So it was scheduled 3 days later, the time it was decided that the battle would happen. So during these 3 preparation time days, the bull sharpened his horns for 1 day, and for the remaining 2 days, he covered his body with leaves and mud. So my question to you at this point of time is that how do you identify yourself as the bull in the story? Please write down your views in the comments below. I'll be very interested to read. And that is how this reading can be mixed between what I have to deliver and what your internal guidance is trying to tell you by means of answering this question. This is a coaching style of conducting readings. So this year for you is not only about beginning a new journey of passion, but also achieving them materially. I mean, you will manifest them. They will happen for you with a finesse. They will have a fine, polished output. It won't be something raw and something in continuation which will continue over the next years or something, but it will evolve within this year itself. You will get a lot of support to do it. Because as we discussed previously, you have uh, you are the chosen one. You have learned not to. You've already learned it, most of you, that you have to do things the way they feel correct to you and not by listening to what others have to say. So, with these realizations, coupled with your attitude towards time, you understand how to plan things in advance so that you can achieve the end results by controlling time. If you look at the monstrance which the queen is holding, that monstrance is a cup. Okay, that, I mean, cup is traditionally known as a monstrance. So you can see those two horn-like figures. I mean, if you look at the monstrance close-up, they are basically angels. But what the card is making them look is, they're looking like horns. So I mean, this in the center position previously you had the devil card, but now it appears that the devil is in the hands of the queen. So all the obstacles, resistance, limitations which you were facing, it's like everything has come into your hands now, and you can crush it at any time as you want. So this particular message that is delivered through this card shows that you have achieved victory over yourself. You have achieved victory over your past versions. You have mastered yourself. You have mastered time. You have mastered illusions. You have mastered the false stories built around the privileged record keepers. So this is the year of self-mastery, and it is clearly shown that it you have achieved it by the middle of the year. This year has to offer you the transition in the simplest ways possible, because things are not at all about dealing with others, but it's about dealing with oneself, transforming oneself, and to make things even simpler, restricting unnecessary interaction with others, which is a very easy thing to do. So keep focusing on yourself this entire year, and you will achieve the outcomes in a very, very catalyzed way. This is, in fact, the best kind of reading that I can ever come across, because it is transformative and the easiest kind of transformation, which will have like long lasting impact in your entire life. So this was all I had to channel for your pile. Thanks for watching, and do like, share and subscribe. Hello pile 2, welcome to your reading. As soon as your cards were laid out, surprisingly a poetry popped up. Just listen to it and let me know in comments what you think about it. The hour of beautiful darkness, outside and within. The time of unwinding oneself from within. The mighty razor blades, I need you as a friend, crumble and pierce stubborn old walls, the burden of ages. I rejoice the parting away. It is very surprising and very delightful when certain things happen while you are doing the readings, and it kind of gives motivation and confirmation that the message is like, even the message that you're about to deliver is clearer. It adds very strong clarity to what we are reading. Your reading says that by this point of time, you are very, very, very well aware of the fact that there are some parts of you which you want to throw out of yourself. Maybe you were feeling stuck in the past. I don't know what was happening, but you were trying to get rid of something. It wasn't happening, and it is more to do with your internal thing. It's not external. This year will give you the momentum to throw all that out. And it will be a very celebratory moment for you. It's like, when, suppose there is a thorn stuck in your hand, which has attack to the very deep level till your bone. Let us say a quill of a porcupine. When you try to push it out, it pains. But the moment the right time comes, when you apply ointment beside it, or maybe you do some, you follow some steps to systematically remove it, that parting, that separation becomes a celebration. Because, you have been struggling and trying to get rid of that porcupine since a very, very long time. But now when the time has come that the right time is there to just throw out all the junk which you had no control of since a very long time. That is the privilege this year is offering you. You will be experiencing a lot of moments of lightness and the disintegration, release, expulsion of something which you are aware of. Throughout the year, you'll be feeling very blessed with this feeling of lightness, subsequently building up and building up. Naturally, in this process, you will be gravitated to replace these crumbling structures with something transformed, something very opposite of what you were holding on to. I mean, you weren't holding on to, you were trying to get rid of it. But once you get rid of it, you will know spontaneously what you need to compensate it with. So this is the gradual release and release and compensation of your whatever you aspire, whatever you're releasing and whatever you aspire to replace it with. So this gives me that image of the thing that we used to play in childhood. We used to keep two books side by side, and then we used to pile one page of the first book over the other, and when we inverted it so it looked like that thing was very beautiful, the way those pages used to come down. I'm not able to describe properly in words, but maybe you can understand. So like something is crumbling and something is being replaced by it. That is the imagery I'm getting, and it's a very step-by-step process, and both the release as well as the replacement processes are enjoyable. The cards might give you an impression of something scary, but it is not. It's very wonderful. And darkness in the poetry channel for you has been shown as a friend. So nights are beautiful, nights are not always bad. Sometimes the summer nights are enjoyable, for example. Sometimes staying alone in night is also, it gives a nice feeling. I'm sure you have experienced such kind of nights. So the metaphor of night is basically something enjoyable and crumbly. So we have another poetry that has come up for you. I'm channeling a lot of poems for you, pile 2. So your messages are coming in a very special way. So here it is. Perch and perch, hit the wall. Go back and fill more if it doesn't fall. Hit mightier, severe and hard, with more force, much more than the previous attempt. Fill even more, evolve even more, charge with force and crumble them down. Please answer in comments how you relate to this poem and what message do you think you personally get. This is one of the coaching styles of conducting reading, to which I might supplement my explanation if I feel drawn to. So please do it. So continuing with the cards, along with the poetry that came through those cards, this particular part of the reading is based upon reminding you of your authenticity. You are an authentic person. You will have to live authentically, evolve authentically during this part of your lifetime. And this is something very major that is happening to you in 2025. Now, what is authenticity? Authenticity is something where you have a very pure, innocent, unfiltered, unapologetic, childlike desire to approach your work in that particular way. It is devoid of any schooling, conditioning, pruning, whatever you go through in your so called trainings and education. It is about ensuring that whatever you are doing feels enjoyable and not an obligation. Its source is purely and purely only excitement and joy. This thing can extend to serious matters of education, such as, what I see in this reading is such as writing thesis, doing a master's degree or a PhD. It doesn't have to go by serious and rigid protocols, but if it is supplemented or derived through your innocence, through your creativity, through your childlike joy and desire, the more it will be successful, because intuition and your steps to approach the problem solving task is one of the important things when it comes to creating projects and thesis or dissertations. Your interest needs to be often extreme or maybe an eccentric kind towards what you are researching on. If you fall into obligations, fabricated methodical structures to approach these kind of works, the chances of success and your work getting published are very, very low. The curiosity, enthusiasm, and all these childlike innocent qualities are something very important fuel towards whatever you are pursuing. Your poem has metaphors of hitting the wall. So possibly what I feel hitting the wall here is adhering to your own approach, which you feel connected to, and not trying to distract or fall into the traps which maybe your peers or maybe your supervisors are forcing you to be on. If you feel that your efforts are not making an impact, you need to dig even deeper and deeper to connect to the childlike joy, and then purge your idea or present your idea with more force, gusto, and authenticity. If still it doesn't work, you need to go back, strengthen yourself, go deep in, and get even more deeper in touch with yourself, and then again rise and present your idea. And this you need to do iteratively. It's like a wall hitting a stubborn tower. Your objective is to demolish that tower. That is what your poem is saying. It is asking you to strengthen yourself with each and every attempt. And the strength in your idea or your work will not come by mugging up things, by learning things, by micromanaging. No. It will come out of the inspired action that you take through the deepest inner child, the deepest inner curious and joyous child that lies within you. This can extend in any area of your life. Okay, I just gave an example of dissertation because there is that hierophant present there. So usually it comes in this card. Organically, it gives me an image of a very strict and rigorous academic routine. But it can be anything else in your life. Let me know in comments in which area of life does this thing apply you to. So that is all I have for you about a 2025 reading. I tried to make it very generic and very compact because personally I prefer that watching very long videos is something it's not a fair thing to do, and the viewer also doesn't tend to feel retained. I try to give you very small and brief chunks of information which you can introspect and connect, that how they apply to your life. So this has been a very, very qualitative content that I have tried to present to you. So thank you very much for listening, and please like, subscribe, and share.